Hi, I'm back with another video. I wanted to do a video on the personality disorders. I always do this disclaimer where I don't want to make the video so long, but it's a lot of information and it's good information. So what I did was I looked through my books, I looked through my notes, and I came up with a whole page of stuff for you because I really like for people to pass this test and just to know stuff about social work in general, to be knowledgeable. But anyway, so there are three clusters of personality disorders. You have cluster A, cluster B, and cluster C. So I will be glancing at my notes because, like I said, it is a lot of information, but I'm pretty familiar with all of it. But so the first cluster, they like to call the odd or eccentric cluster, which is cluster A. And cluster A personality disorders consist of paranoid personality disorder, schizoid personality disorder, and schizotypal personality disorder. So the first one is paranoid personality disorder, and it's just like it sounds. People with paranoid personality disorder, they don't trust people a lot. They're suspicious of other people and the things that they do. And it's really for no cause. Like, they're just suspicious of people for no reason. Sometimes you may see a person acting suspiciously, walking around doing stuff, but like these people, they're suspicious of everything. You could just be sitting in the same room with them and they might be suspicious of you. You could be minding your own business and not paying them any attention, but they may still be suspicious of you. They always think that people are out to get them, that people may be trying to harm them or trick them, and there's just no justification for it at all. So, they don't confide in other people. They don't have any meaningful relationships because of this mistrust. These people can be argumentative. They can be quiet people. They can be people that complain a lot, but they're always tense. And they're very sensitive to criticism. And one of the first people I thought of was one of my clients I had at a mental health facility. He was always shoulders tense, eyebrows squinched in, like he was always just kind of had that look on his face, like he was just wondering about people. And this place was group therapy. It was like a day therapy for people with mental disorders, mostly bipolar disorder and schizophrenia, and then some dual diagnosis and depression and things like that. But he was just always suspicious of everything, or at least he looked like he was, and he was just always just tense and stuff like that. So that's paranoid personality disorder. The second one we'll talk about is schizoid personality disorder. People with schizoid personality disorder are loners. They like to sit by themselves. They like to eat by themselves. They like to isolate themselves. They don't have any social relationships. They're very inward focused, not outward, of course. They're to themselves. They lack any emotional expression. Like, things could be going on where most people would have a positive or negative expression about certain things. These people are just, I guess they have a flat affect, I guess. They don't have too many emotional ups or downs. They're just flat. Let's see what else. They have a poor rapport with people. A lot of times, according to the research, I guess, they don't have any interest or desire in sex. They don't have any friends. They don't find any pleasure in normal activities or, hobbies and things like that. They're just loners. And because of that, they don't have many social relationships. So that's schizoid personality disorder. The next one is schizotypal, which, you know, when I was studying for the exam, I was kind of confused about these two. But I guess the more you read about them and hear about them and hear and learn the differences, then you will be able to differentiate between the two. People with schizotypal personality disorder, they are kind of compared to people with schizophrenia, although they don't have schizophrenia. They are socially isolated. They themselves may behave suspiciously or have odd beliefs. But the reason they're not schizophrenic is because they don't have any hallucinations or delusions. And I want to make it clear what the difference between a hallucination is and a delusion, because for a long time I was confused about that. So a hallucination deals with your senses, your five senses. It can be auditory, visual, olfactory. That's a throwback one. But anyway, like things that you may hear things, you may see things, you may smell things that aren't really there. You may feel things rubbing against you that's not really rubbing against you. So hallucinations are all about your senses. Now, delusions are things that could possibly happen, but they probably didn't happen. So people say, oh, well, you're delusional. Like if I see Morris Chestnut, for example, and I'm like, oh, yeah, that's my boyfriend. We were together on a date last night. Go over there and ask him. You know, that's me being delusional. It's not that it couldn't happen, because it could. It's just likely that it didn't happen, because Morris Chestnut is married and he lives wherever he lives, and I'm here in South Carolina. So it's just things that could happen but probably didn't. So when people have, let's say, they're in a state of mania and they're on top of the world, and they say, oh, well, I'm the president of the United States. They could possibly be. That's something that could happen, but they're probably not. Okay, so I just wanted to throw that in there. I'm sorry, I've been drinking coffee, so I'm kind of jittery. But anyway, what else? Schizotypal personality disorder. They think everything directly relates to them, which is what the ideas of reference is. That's what that means. They think everything directly relates to them. So I mean, people could be, they could be in the mall and people could be walking around, you know, walking past them and start laughing. A person with schizotypal personality disorder would probably think that those people are laughing at him or her. But they also can acknowledge that those people probably aren't. You know, so it's kind of like, you know, well, maybe they're laughing at me, but 9 times out of 10 they're not. They might be having a conversation about something that is funny to them that has nothing to do with me. So they can acknowledge that it's probably, you know, not something that directly relates to them. But they think everything relates to them. So let's see what else. And they also engage in magical thinking. They may think that they can read minds, or that they have x-ray vision, you know, that kind of thing. And then they can also be paranoid, dress unusual, that kind of thing. So that's schizotypal personality disorder. That's cluster A. So cluster A, odd and eccentric personality disorders, and it includes paranoid personality disorder, schizoid personality disorder, and schizotypal personality disorder. Now, in an effort not to make these videos long, I'm going to split them up by clusters because I'm already at about 10 minutes now. So click on one of my next videos and I'll talk about cluster B and cluster C personality disorders. Alright, so if you have any questions or comments, leave them in the comments section. Like the video, subscribe, and I'll try to give you more information, and we'll go from there. Alright.